Hey, everybody. How's it going? Hey, Robbo.
What's happening, everybody? Let me fix my stuff here real quick. Good evening.
Good evening. Hello, Deborah, Bruce, Cynthia. Where's Gillian? Gillian not in here.
Not yet. She'll be here.
She'll be here. So, hey, everybody. How's it going? So, what have you been up to, Robbo?
There she is.
Yeah.
I have been, just over the past little while, I've been tired.
Yeah.
I've been drained to the point that I was asking the question, and you and I kind of got on the same wavelength about, we've been getting downloads. There are times when I see things, even in the show, they're coming in ultra clear, ultra vibrant when I do a reading for somebody, things like that. Like I've connected to a next level. And I'm wondering, and you had mentioned it to me, is there a stress problem? I don't remember exactly how you said it. Once we start coming online even more,
Right.
So, I mean, how would you say it?
I just think that, it almost burns you out while you're processing that stuff,
like an awakening burnout. And I know when I've talked to people, I've had to tell them, they come online, they start to see things, start to do things, and they're like, oh, what's next? And they start eating, wanting to eat this up and move forward super fast. And people have gotten mad when I said, well, the first thing you got to do is slow down. Right. This is a painful birth, and I'm wondering if something like that could be going on for both of us, because you were talking about the massive downloads you're getting.
Massive. Every day. Even today, I was like, even now, this year is like, gee. Yeah. And I think, you got to be able to integrate all that.
Yeah.
And with just non-spiritual life, right? Just everyday daily life. I don't prioritize that integration. I prioritize work. I prioritize the house needing cleaned. I prioritize dinner, or if Bruce or one of the kids needs something, or the pets need something. Those are my priorities. I don't sit down and prioritize sort of processing and integrating, what is it that's coming to me. I do in the morning. I spend a short period of time doing my tarot pulls, and I do it for the collective, and I do one for me. And during that brief, but that's only like 45 minutes of my day, right? I don't dedicate any time, and I don't have, I don't want to say I don't take me time. And I know you don't either. I don't take me time. I don't get up and go for a walk or go out and do something for me, or grab my journal and go to Starbucks, or I don't do those things.
Right.
And maybe it's something that I just need to start doing,
Well, and that's a good thing. That's a good thought process. I've been doing the same way. I was walking, I was doing everything. Then my back got hurt, blah, blah, blah. I'm not, but I have no motivation. I am completely unmotivated. But when I sit down and I say my prayer, when I start to read, it's a heavy read. And I don't mean negative. I just mean
clear, it comes
ringing, to the point where I even ask the cards, and I've got them saved because I got to digest what I actually pulled the other day while I was sitting down here doing that. When I started asking who or what is God, even to that level, some things were just like pulling me. So I did a pull about who is God. And this thing just came busting through, and I wound up with like an 8 card. You know me, I don't do things, but it kept going and kept going and kept going. And this thing, I'm getting goosebumps. This thing was huge. And I'm like, okay, I have to put this on video, but I got to digest everything
Right. Yeah.
that I said. So it's one of those things where once people start to wake up, and I'm not talking about being woke, I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Getting down line, saying there's something bigger than myself, saying, okay, I'm receiving loads, okay? It's an ego death. It's kind of like you. So I think right now, you and I particularly, I probably need to get up an hour early, okay? And you already get up early.
Yeah.
All right. And spend time doing what Gillian does. She will sit at the table, read her cards, do a read for herself, things like, but it's daily.
I do that, every morning when I pull the cards for the collective, I do it for myself too, but I don't invest a whole lot of time. Also, I'm really bad about grounding. I don't ground myself.
Me too. Me too.
I need to be outside more. I don't leave my house unless, I don't leave unless I have to. I'm not leaving the house.
Yeah, and you're in Florida, so it's never that bad,
Right. But I need to maybe get out and walk or, sit in a park or something on a Saturday. It gets dark pretty early. Well, not as early as you guys, but by 5:30 it's dark here. 5:30, 6 o'clock. So, to go after work to the park or whatever. But I was thinking today, maybe on my lunch I'll try, if it's not too hot, I'll walk around the block or whatever. Because when Starbucks was up the block, I used to walk to Starbucks and back, and get and sort of get out doing that. But once they shut down and moved their stuff, I just don't do that.
Right. Like Bruce just said, she gets up way early and takes her time. She's alone with the door closed, but she's in there doing card stuff. But she will understand what I'm saying. And I think you just hit it. A lot of that is doing a reading, but we haven't done the full on grounding. We haven't taken that meditation time. It's like, I have it. Okay. Right. Where it's really prepping for the day, not just what do you got for me,
Right. But, and what I'm doing in here is not for me. It's for everybody else. It's for online. It's not. So it is me time in that I sit and the door is closed and I am doing the card reading, but door's closed because I'm burning sage. And the last 2 times I left the door open and burnt sage, the fire alarm went off. So the door is shut.
So that was really calming.
Yeah. I woke the whole house up at 5:30 in the morning. You know what I mean? Everybody was like, what the hell's going on? But it's what we're doing. We're not taking care of us. We're taking care of others, the collective, whatever. This is, the card pulls are not for me. And so I don't do the meditation, and any meditation that I do is very brief, and it's just to prep me to turn the cards over in the morning.
Right.
So just to center me so that I can turn the cards over.
Do you think there's also a possibility, I don't know, like something in my case where I used to love getting those cards in the morning, and all of a sudden it's become very heavy. Okay.
Correct. If it's feeling like a job a little bit.
Yeah. And do you think something could be working because we're starting to see stuff and come up with different thought patterns, okay, about everything? All right. It's not just this or that. Like you said, somebody will cross our mind, and next thing you know, we're full on pulling that energy.
Right.
Okay. Do you think there could be something too that wants to keep us asleep?
Maybe. I just want to try. Deborah, you're very welcome. It is something that I enjoy doing, those card reads in the morning. So I just, sometimes it just gets, like anything, it just gets heavy. It's like making your kids lunch every day. Some days you just don't feel like making the lunch. You want to give them the lunch money and tell them to buy something from the cafeteria. but it could be, it really could be. But I don't know. I don't know that a lot of the polls that I've been doing for myself personally are telling me that I'm sort of on a cusp.
Right.
It's a huge sort of transition period that I personally am in. On top of just, a transition period for the year and for, astrologically and all kinds of stuff. So, but, a lot of, I'll have to show you because I kept a lot of the reads, I have a lot of them are, this is the integration period, Bridget. This is the time where, this is your downtime. You have it, because I actually did a reading of, have I lost my mojo? I don't feel as connected as I have felt in the past. And the reading was like, basically, you're more connected. You just connect. It's integrated in you now, so you don't have that vibration kind of feeling.
And this just came to me. For the longest time, you and I would call, sit down, have coffee, even if you were at work and work was slow, all right, because you work from home most of the time. And we would just go through life. It was almost like you and I grounding together. I would ground you, you would ground me, things like that. Almost every time we have a one-on-one, the show, the people on the show, other problems we're dealing with, downloads. What do you think this means? What do you think this means? Even that has been kind of interrupted. And I never thought about it until I just heard you talking about it, And that came to me very clear. Like, you know what? Even on Saturday, we sit down sometime and I'd sit down here, you'd be in your, and we would just shoot the shit, and we haven't done that in a long time. And that's, I think, kind of like what you're saying. And I saw something here that says the pressure to be high vibe can be toxic. Okay. Suppressing anger, grief, and confusion isn't spiritual. It's bypassing, where real awakening includes messy emotions. And, we haven't just been like, hey, Bridget, I had this crazy dream the other day. What's going on? Where are we at? I'm pissed at Gillian. You're pissed at Bruce. That would never happen to anybody. Okay. Just never happen.
No.
Okay. I mean, and Gillian could never be mad. It's me. How could she ever be mad at me? But you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Even our connection has become more evolved around something rather than just my friend Bridget.
Things that I have been coming across is, the focus on the high vibe thing, right? I always feel like I have to be, not poly positive, because we all know that I'm not poly positive, but, try and maybe, especially when we're doing this show together, try to curb my natural negativity, because you guys, I am a naysayer. There is always a counterpoint as to why it's not a good idea or why it's not going to work or why. Just ask Rob. But do you think that, so as we're doing this, we're also working on healing ourselves?
Absolutely.
And that's almost like a full-time job, right? So that's where the focus is. And so then you get to the point where am I even qualified on a level of being healed to speak at people and to talk to people and to have them come and ask me to counsel them, right? And so then you're constantly trying to do better, be better, fix it, do this, do that, and it's almost like that's your life now, right? Your
Right.
whole focus is 100% on cleaning yourself up so that you could be presentable to the people in front of you.
Right. Because you don't want to be dishing out advice when you're not taking your own advice. And I've been in that position back when I was actually doing counseling work, going to work. I tell the story oftentimes about I used to teach people, particularly in groups, we look at our life as A, get up, fix the kids' breakfast. B, get them off on the bus. C, get ready for work. D, go to work. And we picture ourselves, that's our life. When actually what happens, our life is in between those moments. When I'm not having to get the kids ready, once they're gone, what am I doing for myself? Where can I sit down? Go out and enjoy the birds. Go out and enjoy some of that. And I think one of the things that happened to me was when we took all of our feeder stuff down. This is just coming to me now.
Yeah, your focus.
I had something to draw me outside, and nature pulled me and everything else. And now it's not. But I got into that rut where I was doing the same thing, and Gillian I was taking her to work, got very annoyed when she'd take a right now. And I'm like, oh, okay, I got to get over. And I pulled into the Fifth Avenue, the Indialantic boardwalk, right off A1A. And there was the most beautiful, been to Key West, been all over, grew up in Florida. That was probably one of the most beautiful sunrises I had ever seen. But I was going to miss it because I wasn't present. Right. I wasn't here. And then I was more worried about get her to work. What have I got to do when I get to work? And boy, we actually pulled in, turned the car off, got out and said, screw it if we're late.
Right.
We're not missing this. We just stood there for a minute and I almost cried. And I think some of that's what's going on and why I'm so tired a lot all of a sudden. I wasn't tired. And then there are moments during the day when I'm really not tired. But then there's a lot of times during the day when all of a sudden it's like, okay, and I'm wondering if some of it isn't the grounding.
Right.
And kind of with the winter setting in, the boredom, Gillian and I are making choices about locations and things like this and whatnot. Where are we going? What are we doing? And it's, I need to get back into what Gillian was talking to me about, practice what I preach.
Right.
Get up, be mindful, get the crystal ball out that you and Bruce gave me. Look, sit, stare, scry, do all of it. And, Stella got a groove back, that's right. Kind of that thing.
Well,
and I'm wondering if you're not in that same boat, One
of the things I'm running into is the, my normal, I don't know what you want to call them, coping mechanisms, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
All those tools that you draw on, right, are just, they're not working the way they have it before. And, it's like, what the hell is going on? But I am exhausted most of the time. That. I mean, all the time. And Bruce was complaining about me getting up early. There are weeks where I get up at 3:00 in the morning every morning, and I don't go back to sleep.
Right.
This morning I was up at 3 a.m. and I could not go back to sleep. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I think there's a little bit of, but I think you're right. There's a little bit of burnout going on.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, at 3 a.m., I can't go for a walk. It's not safe for me to do that.
No,
you
it's
know what
not.
I mean? I
Not at
can't,
all.
I just things like that. It's not feasible for me to do.
Right. And that's what I hate walking. I despise walking. I don't like it. I'm like, that's why God gave us the brains to make a car. Okay. I don't care that it's 2 blocks that way. I'll be there quicker than you will if I drive my car. Okay. Unless I'm walking and playing golf. It's something I'm doing that it requires walking, but I enjoy doing it. And I haven't been to a golf course, haven't played golf, haven't done anything since we've been here. Bowling, okay? Up, down, back, forth, everything or whatnot. These people don't bowl here. They got this stupid thing called, candle pin bowling. And I'm like, we call this skee ball. You just have it on a much grander scale. I have to drive an hour to go bowl. And I'm like, so I think some of that is getting to me. So, I put the pool table down here, things like that. And after a while, you're like, okay, I played pool. I'm still in the house.
Yeah.
I go to my craps table. Let me run some strategies. But, there's a reason Minnesota Fats was Minnesota Fats and playing pool. Okay.
Yeah. He wasn't Minnesota running, right?
Yeah, he sure wasn't. Yeah.
But the walking for me is not exercise. It's to sort of, how I feel about being outside and connecting and I have not, I just have stopped doing that. Because mostly there's no comfortable, I can't find a comfortable place around my home for me to go do this.
Right.
But it's more for me to get out and breathe the air and sort of connect. It's not about me exercising.
Exactly. It is about that. And I mean, Lord, no, you and Gillian are not the most extroverted people on the planet. Okay. You're just not. All right.
The hell you say, Rob?
And that and that part of me being out, being with those people, I haven't had that. Even last night, you called or texted, and we were out having dinner like at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. And Gillian finally said, we haven't been out of the house in 2 days. And I think she was doing that more for me than she was for her. But it just felt good to get out, and be a part.
I'm cool with the getting out. It's the socializing that I struggle with. I want to be out, but I want to be out here and everybody can be out over there.
Yeah.
I'm here and you guys are over there and don't.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm absorbed. I'm hearing you laugh and be quiet. Do you really have to laugh that loud?
Yeah, you got to be that loud or what?
And that's what we went to eat at our local Thai Japanese fusion place that has the the tables where everybody sits around it or whatnot.
The hibachi and they're
we did not do that. We went in, but there was a little party going on and they were having a ball, but it was bang, 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 boom, 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 all this stuff. And I'm like going, okay. I hope he hit somebody in the eye with the shrimp.
They're shooting the sake and everybody's getting all loud and they're doing
look, the nice
sake bombs and
And you know what? And usually that would jazz me. That would be like, oh, that's great. They're having a good time. I need to go be a part. Last night I was just like, no, it's too late for that crap, y'all. Stop. Okay.
You and Bruce get a kick out of that stuff. And me and Gillian look at each other and we're like, okay.
Why are we eating with perfect strangers? Yeah.
That's what she'll say. It's okay. She'll be like, or I'll get the. And we'll both be like, you know.
Yeah, and it gets bad when Bruce and I get together because then we're both like fueling each other.
Well, but see, if the two of you are dealing with each other, then Gillian and I can turn to each other and just.
And you have your sign language.
Do your thing, and then it's just the two of us talking. That's
right.
As long as you guys are entertaining each other, so we can just now have a conversation amongst ourselves. And,
we're self-amusing when we're together.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. But so when it's just you and Bruce, and he's saying hi to everybody at the table and passing out cards, you're like, oh, Jesus.
I've got to be the travel agent's wife. Yeah, that I'm like, fuck. But,
and that's the way Gillian is. Like, oh.
She does better though with you. Like when we go
she just hides it better than you.
Yeah,
that's all. She feels the exact same way. That's funny. I don't like the seating either. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Deborah, I missed the Rev, Rob, and Bruce, two guys talking shows you used to do. Ah, yeah, News Dudes and Tudes, I think was what we.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm looking at building a community, and I mentioned something to you about us maybe looking at building a community and getting back on here and getting this back to having fun again, and just start. Let's talk about whatever comes up. Doesn't always have to be. I think I got sucked down a drain with somebody trying to get some certain things accomplished. And so I'm getting over, then they just disappear out of your life,
Wow.
That's gone.
Gone?
Yep. Called the other day, said, I don't know what's going on. I hope everything's okay. I hope your mom's all right. I hope everything. Nope. Gone. So.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah. Gone. Last thing we knew, we're going to cancel the meeting. I'm headed to LA. Next thing we know, I'm like, did she ever get back? She's like, yeah, there's something on her Facebook post. And I'm like, okay. And we haven't heard from her.
We're going to have an offline conversation about that because there was some stuff that was like supposed to be in the works that.
Yeah. And it's all on hold. It's all over my wall and everything else. So that's the reason I'm thinking about.
Well, I mean, it's a personal conversation, not for this, but there were choices you guys were making.
Yeah, but if I could put this stuff together, everybody here would benefit. We'd have a good time, And but yeah, different things like that. It's been a very confusing end of last year, and I just figured that's part of the breaking free and moving into the 2026. It's part of it, and it, what is that?
Bruce and I, we haven't been out to dinner. We hadn't been out to dinner in a really long time. And I wanted to go to Lake Eola because their holiday market was happening.
Right.
And so, we decided it was like a Friday or Saturday night. I don't remember what, but it was, a weekend night. And we were going to go to Anthony's to get pizza or something at the Italian place. And because it's right there and you can walk, you can park and walk. You can walk to the park. You can walk to the pizza place. It's all right there.
And the Pokemon was crazy there.
Right.
Around Lake Eola and everything. It was awesome.
And so we decided we're going to go.
Okay.
And get something to eat. There was, I don't know if it was the 50th or the 55th birthday party or whatever for this guy. It was a table of like 6 guys. And they were so loud to the point that even Bruce was like, I might ask if we can move our table because
wow,
it was it hurt my ears. It was painful for me to sit there. And you know me, I startle like nothing, you know, you can sneeze and I jump. And so these guys are cutting up, they're drinking, they're doing shots, and you know, and what? And I'm like out of my skin.
Yeah.
Holy shit, right? You know, like I need a Klonopin because my nerves are like, you know, it was, even Bruce was like, he's like, this is crazy. Like if we had not ordered and she had not put the order in, we probably would have went somewhere.
Yeah.
But
I forget where Gillian and I were. She might be able to tell you, but there was some things going on. We got up and left a restaurant because it was that crazy. And it's like, it's not supposed to be like that in here. You know, I don't mind some people getting together, having a good time, laughing or whatnot. But this was that, you know, oh, who can be the loudest and banging on the table. And yeah.
That's what this was. And the thing is like, it's a restaurant, right? It's not a bar. And so if I'm in a bar and people are showing their butts like that, what do I expect? I'm in a bar and people are there to drink and get drunk and, you know, act out or whatever, right? I mean, but we're sitting down to eat dinner and it was like, wow. You know, we just were like, okay, and we're gone. You know, we just scarfed and we're like, she's like, do you want me to put in we're like, no, nothing, check. That's it. We're leaving. Thanks, bye. You know, like, we don't want anything. No, thank you.
I want out.
Super nice. What?
I want out. That's what I want.
Well, no, she knew. She knew immediately. She just was like, thanks. Sorry about the noise. I mean, she was cool. She was worried that it was going to affect her tip. She didn't say that, but you could see in her face that she was, you know, because we were, well, me in particular, I was like, you know. So.
Yeah. I think it was Saturday. It might have been Sunday. I think it was Saturday. We went to a restaurant in downtown Portsmouth, the one we wanted to take y'all to for breakfast, and sat down. We're like, oh, look, there's nobody here. They set a table, and it was one of those groups. Well, it wasn't a group. It was just a family, okay, where the 3-year-old ran everything. And he is sitting right behind me. And Gillian's like, don't do it. Don't do it. You can see her. I'm getting that. I'm watching you. Yeah. But he's screaming. And it's making me do
like,
this.
Yeah, you're like, yeah.
And next thing you know, he's tearing off, running through the restaurant. And I'm watching him go. And because Dad's sitting behind me, Gillian's like, I'm like looking at Gillian like, anybody know the kid's gone? Because as much as I want to give the kid a swirly, all right, I don't want to, there's a back door back there too. And finally the dad gets up and runs. How did they fix the problem? Plopped a tablet in front of his face. And next thing I know, I was talking to Gillian, but I was talking a little bit loud about that's the reason we're in problems, because nobody has any boundaries. There's no respect for boundaries. And I think a lot of times, some of that's what gets me. It's like, what happened to common sense? I don't have to agree with everything you agree with.
Right?
Yeah. We don't all have to agree on everything, but I've got to respect your right to believe it, you know, and say, okay, all that's gone. It's my way or the highway.
Right.
And this is all just stupid.
And God help you if you say something to the kid or to the parents about the kid.
Right.
And you'll be on TikTok. You'll be a 30-minute short or 30-second short on TikTok. Yeah. And look at this a-hole, and we need to find out who this is, and you know what I mean?
And when they interview me, it'll be just like, I think these parents forgot that corporal punishment is real. Okay. It's legal. And I was just demonstrating some parenting tips.
You need to whip that poison out.
Yeah. And it still wouldn't have been as bad as you or I would have gotten it. You know?
Oh, no, yeah. I would have. We would have never have even dreamed of behaving that way. Man, my dad would have given me like a side eye. and I would have been terrified because when we got to where no people were around, it was on, man.
The ass whippings were real. They were, they were not gentle. They were not kind. They were like, you embarrassed the shit out of me.
What the? Whack for every
I didn't
word.
get the cussing because he was doing the whole religion thing or whatnot. But I was like, well, I don't think Jesus would have beat me this hard. I mean, I would have gotten like, I would have. Well, I think that's it, and I think maybe the grounding. I need to do some more head-on grounding. I need to really practice at putting my energy shield up more, okay, and not letting certain energies into my area, things
pushing
like that.
It's but that takes some dedication.
Yeah.
And Rob, we're lazy, and you and I both, man. It's like, I'm not doing that. Why I shouldn't have to do that. But I guess if you want, you want your sanity or to feel some semblance of normalcy, you've got to, start. We've got to start, making sure that we're pushing that out. And
yeah, exactly. Because number one, if we're going to advise people, that's what they need to do. We need to be doing it, or we become hypocrites in and of ourselves. But we also know it's the right thing to do. But I do think that's where something comes in and makes it where we don't want to do it, because we enjoy the feeling when we do it and do it right. It's freeing. It's I am on a different level. I am on a different plane. So why wouldn't I want to do that? So, Gillian just said, where'd she put it? Yes, my mother had a look that would freeze you in your tracks.
Yeah, my dad.
I never tested that. I used my older sister as my lesson.
Yeah, you and me both, Gillian. My older siblings were, like crash test dummies. So I knew.
Remember the movie Mommy Dearest when they made the whole big deal about she whipped the daughter with a wire hanger? You hung your death in a wire hanger. Why would you do that? I was in the movie theater. I said, my mom would tell you because you'll never do this shit again.
Right.
I spent good money on that suit. And people were snickering and giggling. I'm like, yeah, getting hit with a wire hanger from your mother? Lighten up. That was.
I never got. I'm lucky. My parents didn't hit me with stuff, but I had siblings, older, right? So for all intent and purpose, I was the youngest. I have my younger brother, but he was in a completely different household with mom and her husband and everything. So for all intents and purposes, I was the youngest.
Right.
And I got daily ass whippings by somebody. If it wasn't my parents, it was one of my siblings. And I mean, it just is what it is. So,
and my dad even said in the car one time in front of my mother, because she had 2 miscarriages before me and 1 after me. And my dad said, I firmly believe God did that to keep us alive. And my mom was like, what are you talking about? Because if he'd have been the first and gone through what we put him through, and he watched another child come through and not go through what he went through, he'd have killed us in our sleep.
Right.
And I whispered from the back seat, because I was in high school, I said, wouldn't have been in your sleep.
Yeah, right. You would see it coming. You would see it coming. I made sure you knew what hit you, sir. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Bruce, my mom would throw her sandal at me from across the room, and I swear it hit me every time and came back to her like a ninja boomerang.
My grandmother was the one, and she did this very seldom. But, go cut your switch. I had to cut my own. And you're like, holy crap. No, it was true south, baby. And it was like, if you bring it back too small, then she's going to go cut it. And you're like, oh, no. Okay. So the whole time you're like, okay, this one will do it.
You're there testing it on you. Can I tolerate this?
Yeah,
no, I didn't have to. I didn't have to cut a switch. Thank God. But I got snatched up like by my hair, like like.
We were fishing with some of my across the street neighbors. Okay, and my dad, the boys. Mr. Brooks told the boys, his two, get out of the water. Get out of the water. And all of a sudden, and he's a big man, that's one. That's two. And then they waited for three. And before he got to three, they would run out of the water. My dad said, get out of the water. And I'm like, oh, I like this 1, 2, 3 shit. Next thing I knew, it's the whole, you're not a Brooks, you're a Lee. I told you one freaking time.
Get out of Don't make me tell you again.
Yeah. So, I don't know that was the strongest parenting. But, there were some good things about it, too. And, because it kept me out of trouble. There were things my parents might see that were dangerous. And they needed me to stop running. Snakes, spiders, anything, literal danger. And if we allow these children to, give it to 3, if he'd have stopped on 1, he wouldn't be dead right now.
Right.
He wouldn't have got hit by the car.
Yeah.
But, I know this is what we're talking about, but it's kind of what you and I were talking about with just being, overloaded. And I think that's it,
Yeah, I think you're right, though. I think maybe some grounding, some stuff some things to maybe shake away some residual energies and whatnot. We interact with a lot of people. I think a big part of my problem was I never really had a problem blocking off like energies,
right?
So maybe with the new upgrades or downloads or whatever you want to call them, I'm not in the same place anymore. So
right, more receptive,
something where I need to be more diligent about making sure the house is saged and warded and making sure my person is, like I don't wear my crystals anymore. I don't carry them with, on me anymore. And I think maybe I just need to kind of.
And now it's funny that you say that. It's a conscious effort on my part to go put, you remember me, I was with my necklaces all the time, my bracelets, everything. It is a conscious effort to go put those on. And I started putting them back on because now every bracelet that I'm wearing is one that Gillian handmade for me.
Right. So
that helps me. Okay. But it's become some part of that has been, and we've said on the show before, be careful what you wish for. Right. You just might get it. And now we want to hear more. We want to see more. We want to understand more. Okay. But we're not taking the right steps to turn it off at night, to turn it on briefly in the morning, turn it back off, be open at certain times, but to fine tune the radio. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, if that makes any sense.
The brighter your light, the more people, things, energies are drawn to you, right? So as you come upon all these things that are happening, people want a part of it. They want people, energies, whatever. They want to a part of that, whatever it is you're radiating. And I think, and I'm not saying maliciously or intentionally or anything. I think sometimes it just happens quite naturally. You come across somebody who's just you like a lot, and you just, you want to be, you know what I mean? You want to be around them and in their space and in their energy. And I think that one of the things that I personally don't do is discern those energies the way I really should, right?
Especially since you and I both have empathic abilities, all right, and that makes it even that much, we're more receptive to it. So we've got to have a strainer, we've got to turn stuff on and off. I love what Deborah and Donna said. Laughter is the best medicine. Thanks for the laughs. You're quite welcome, but you're absolutely right. Best thing you can do for your health, for your mental health, for anything is to laugh. But then I love Donna. I need to ground, but first I need to dig away some snow. We're with you.
Run a bath, Donna. Do it. Run a bath with some Epsom salt. Ground there, because in the middle of winter, I'm lucky. I don't have to worry about what you guys worry about.
Yeah, exactly.
Or at least go to your tree. Go to a tree and just put your hands on a tree for a little while.
Yeah, and there's a tree I was starting to do that with before everything went south. That is, it's hundreds of years old. To think that, this town was incorporated in the early 1600s, meaning before this was even a nation. So there were Indians and everything back here in this property, and I've already picked up some of those. I think I was here. I pointed out that large,
the huge tree,
pine tree, and I can't put my arms around. That's unusually big for a pine tree. But go out, kind of do a Rebecca Gregory and wrap around a tree, let it
hold on to the plant.
There you go.
Yep.
So
definitely. Gil was saying, she said sometimes you need a break from your crystals, and your crystals need a break from you, which is true. And they maybe need to be cleansed and stuff like that. And she also said, take off your stuff when you sleep at night, which I don't usually wear my stuff to sleep. But what I was gonna say also is maybe the stones are not the ones that are the best serve you anymore. Maybe maybe you need to graduate to some different stones or something.
And that's why I love the new ones that you got me. But something you just said, in taking one of my necklaces off, it's lapis. And I didn't think about it. It's on the bedside table right next to my head because I'm elevated. All right. And it got pushed around where I don't see it, And I'm wondering if that's not giving me, because that's great for your second sight, everything else or whatnot. But when you're getting second sight, when you're trying to sleep every night, okay, let's take a break.
Yeah, maybe move the lapis into the other room.
Yeah, exactly. And there's some amethyst in there, things like that. And it's never bothered me before. But maybe this is one of those things that since we are stepping up what we're receiving, we got to be careful about those things.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, you know me with moldavite. I can't do moldavite. Now, I haven't tried it since I started getting all these downloads and stuff. But I cannot tolerate moldavite at all. It makes me physically ill.
Right.
So I'd be curious. I'll have to go check it out.
And Cynthia, you asked, do you charge your stones?
Sometimes.
Not on a regular thing. It's like if I feel they need it. And maybe sometimes it's if my energy has rubbed off on the stone or something like that, then yes, I will either put them in a sunlight bath or, put them in some dirt to recharge. the moonlight, things like that, but not on a regular basis. It all depends. I let my intuition talk to me about that.
I haven't charged stones in a really, really, really long time. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I just need to gather my mojo bag and just sitting right over here because I had taken it. I had to go into work when I was training that guy, So I took him. I was like 2 weeks. I was in work for 2 solid weeks. So I had him in the bra, in the mojo bag.
Yeah. And one thing I noticed too, I set up an altar, was doing candles, things like that. I haven't done any candles for a while, but I've been doing some incense, things like that. But I think my altar's become stale. And I think tomorrow I need to break it down, clean everything.
I just did that. Over. I did that the other day. Yeah. I had my little vacuum. I was vacuuming all the incense residue and shit that gets everywhere, and peeling up wax and all that stuff. And so I just did that. But I think my stones, though, I haven't really showed my stones a whole lot of love in a long time,
And
sage. When I burn sage, I'll pass them through the smoke. But
yep.
So you all right?
Yeah. No, it was part of that. I think it's communication. I think when I said I need to clean my altar, do all that, there are things here. I think that was a good sign to say, yes, you do. We need to talk to you more again. Okay. I went to a thing here a while back, and it's been a little while, but where I was not, and it wasn't a conscious thing. It's where you unconsciously stop talking to your guides and stuff.
Right.
And I sat down here one day and went, are you guys even still here?
Right.
Because my brain was so involved in what am I doing over here? Where are we going? What are we doing here? What's happening here? And they stepped forward, and I had to remember, you're never alone. It was me that stepped away, not them.
Right.
So they're back. They're bad, and they're back with a vengeance. Okay. And but I need to. Yeah.
Do you have a minute for us to talk to you about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? No. I'd like to talk about your car's warranty.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those things where it was like, okay. But
I told you today, before the show we were talking, and I was like, boom, like all of a sudden it was like loudspeaker in my head, like, this is the thing,
right.
This is it, this is, and I was like, whoa, like out of left field too, like, where did that even come from?
Right.
No, don't do that, and I was like, whoa, it just was, I was like, okay, I hear you, like, I got you.
Yeah. Message received.
Yeah, I got you. And I will get on that as soon as I figure out the best course of action. Yeah, it was, but it was like a resounding,
Yeah.
And even yours, like when you were doing before the thing, it was like very definitive. Boom.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
yeah.
And there have been some readings I've done for some people that were just like, oh my God, they were crystal clear.
Right.
And like, okay. And, and they were people I didn't know, things like that or whatnot. So it's been some of those things where, I've even had in the shows over the past couple of weeks, people have texted me afterwards, wow, just dialed in. And, but I don't think, I'm not honoring the gift, or I believe everybody can do what you and I do. It's just who's open up to it, who does it. But I think maybe I've taken the gift for granted, and I need to clean out. I need to start over,
And
I'm not drinking my water like I should.
And that's what led me to do that one reading I was talking about, where it was like, have I lost my mojo? Like, why am I not connected? And it was that, it's not that you're not connected.
Right.
You're just so connected that it doesn't feel like a thing anymore. Like you're so in tune with it that it's just part of, it's just there now. There's no aha moment or, like the goosebumps and the hair on the back of your neck standing up and, feeling kind of like you're electrified. Right.
Yeah.
And I was getting really worried because I was like, what's going on here? Because I do not feel dialed in,
But and that could be that we're dialed in so much now where it's becoming the norm.
Right.
And we have to, And
that's the message I was getting. Like, this is.
Yeah. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah. You're just so immersed. You're so dialed into it that at this stage of the game, it's almost like breathing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. When I step away, if I don't, and you know what? You just hit something and boom. Okay. I think that's why I get so absorbed in a TV show or I need something to do, because if I'm not preoccupied with something else, it's all about this. I'm thinking about theology. I'm thinking about I get crazy downloads. I'm getting all this other stuff. And it's like, I need to be able to go bowling. I need to be able to go golfing. I need to get out and do something fun. Okay. And to give my physical mind a break.
Right. That information overload, right?
Yeah.
Is and you're constantly processing. I do the same thing. I'm processing. So anymore, you would be like, I am constantly in my phone, because if I'm not in my phone, then I'm processing.
Yeah, everything. Yep, I'm with you. I used to never watch TikTok or any of the reels or stuff like that. And now I will sit there for hours. It's where I disappear into.
All of a sudden you look up and it's an hour and a half later. And it's like, whoa, when did that happen?
Yeah. Oh, it's 11:30. Yeah.
All the time. Or I'm playing this stupid game. I'll find these games, just these stupid games, and just fixate on them. And they take nothing. Like there's some strategy to them, but they're not like the games you and Bruce play where, you're planning sieges and stuff. This is me like, okay, what color block should I put next in order to
Gillian playing the same kind of games.
So I'm stuck in this game. It's called Pixel something, and the object is there's these little dots, and the object is you got to clear all the little dots out. But the only way you can do it is if you do the right combination of the colored guns that go. So I'm here, and then I don't get it. And I'm like, God damn it. And Bruce was like, what's wrong? I'm like, game, damn it, game. And he's like, and that's so like out of character for me,
Exactly.
So I'm listening to a book, me, I never only read one book at a time. I'm always got one, if I'm doing it, I'm reading one physically, I'm reading one on my phone, and I'm listening to one audio, right? Not at the same time, guys, but I'll switch between them. So I've been trying to, even Bruce said the other day, you don't read anymore. And I just do it on my phone. I don't buy the physical books anymore. I just read them like on my Kindle app, or I'm listening to them.
Yeah.
So I started going back to try and do that again. Because when we went to New Orleans, I there was like a last book in a series of books that I was reading. And so I was like, when we were on the plane, I was reading them. So.
And you talking about games, and I'll end with this because that's right up, I've been playing the old Diablo 3 on the Switch, again, the demons and how you build your armor and all that stuff and everything. So I'm like, you know what? I'm doing this right. I broke out ChatGPT on the phone. Okay. I need the strongest character and I want to know the best way to build it. Okay. Now, the highest level is 70. Okay. He is now a 600. Okay. And yeah, it's what I've done is absolutely crazy. But Gillian came in the other day because I'm talk texting, on ChatGPT, and then it was, she hears me yelling, "You're on the wrong version, and I'm calling it names and everything else." She said, "Are you talking to Toby?" Because it was the game, and I'm like, "No, ChatGPT." She's like, "Okay."
Bruce tells, because I'll yell at she who must not be named in the house, because if you name her, everything shuts off, lights up, right? So I'll yell at her because she will not have accomplished the task that I ask her to Yeah. Will be like, "What? I don't know what you're saying." And I'm like, "Fuck you, you don't get it." And Bruce is like, when computers come alive, they're coming after you first. And he's always so polite to the stupid Alexa. "Thank you. Thank you. That's great. Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you." I'm like, "It's a freaking computer box." He's like, "When that computer comes alive,
she is here to serve me." That is it. I don't care what I call it. It will come.
Didn't you watch that movie Maximum Overdrive? The one with Emilio Estevez where the comet comes and hits
I love that movie.
All the electronics suddenly are sentient and they're out to just wipe out humanity. And he said, when that happens, or the Matrix happens, or whatever it is, you're the first one going because you're mean to Alexa.
Yeah. And I'm calling her all kinds of names.
Yep.
Giving her, especially if I ask her a question that I'm wanting the information to, and she answers it differently.
Or
listen to me.
Some stupid response. You ask it a question, and then all of a sudden, 16 different shows with one word from the question show up on your TV, and you're like, "What the actual F are you talking about?"
Yeah. Yep. You and me both. So I'm there. So, well, you know what we need to do? Let's get together this weekend and do a whole. We'll get Gillian. We'll do a whole thing. Bruce can come in, but he might be trying to stay away from us with this energy. He might be going, y'all go clean up,
No, he actually has mentioned a couple of times over the last couple of weeks about just me not being 100% or not being myself, or being maybe more irritable than normal or whatever, and not sleeping. Me not sleeping is upsetting him. So
there we go. Donnie yells at her too, and that's going to be a thing. So maybe we need our next channel is the I'm not even going to say her.
Don't say it, because your whole house will go blink, and then she'll be listening to every word you say.
Yeah. But so that'll be our next channel about anti-her, and how we can use,
And the one on Apple also, she's a useless so-and-so.
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't know how the guy, the Android guy is, whatever. It's Galaxy now, I guess. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Bixby, I think his name is, because I don't use them.
Oh.
So, but I think that's it. And,
well, my
and then you can say hello, the G word, and that one comes on. And you're like, "Oh my God, we're being invaded."
Look who came to say hello.
Hello.
You never get to see Biddy.
No,
she must have been under the bed because she just jumped up. She was been in the room with me this whole time.
Well, she knew you needed calming down.
Yeah. She wants to go out.
I never felt so blessed as that time I was at y'all's place sitting there and she was crawling on me. I'm like, this is a rarity, you know?
Yeah, it is. It is a rarity. She comes, she gets on you and makes muffins. Yeah. But anyway. All right. Beauty kitty.
Well, thank you all for putting up with us tonight for a let off steam session.
Thank you. We thought that we would bring out the more real side to this whole shebang, this whole thing that we do. You know, sometimes it's, and I think everybody realizes it's not all roses, but I don't think people understand sometimes just how heavy it gets.
Right.
So.
Exactly. So, tomorrow I'll come in here and do some cleanup or whatnot and get ready. And then this weekend, you and I'll talk.
Yeah. And, I'll look up and see maybe what we can do collectively to just try and shake some of it off.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I know one of the things I'm probably going to do is just open up all the doors and windows and light a tumbleweed worth of sage and just kick it around my house because... Yeah,
we're not opening up all the doors and stuff here, by God. I'm telling you. We're having a heat wave at 32.
Maybe you need to. Maybe that's what you need to do. You need to open them up. Sage, open it all up, let the cold air come in and wipe it all out.
Yeah, that could be. You know what? It could be.
You can sit downstairs. Well, and stay warm.
Well, you saw me earlier. I had my sweater on because I'm being cheap. I don't turn the heat on down here because not normally, but I've been down here every day. So I might need to bump it up, but I hate to have the heat running down here. This is a big room, you remember.
Yeah, it is.
This room that's going to be running forever on fuel oil. And, so I just put on my sweater.
Maybe you need to get like a little space heater just for when you're doing it.
I think I put it in the fireplace because it makes it, crackly or whatnot. I probably need to bring it out and just set it over here. Warm my feet up.
Yep. All right. I think everybody's looking to go. So
I don't blame
you for sticking with us. Next week we'll try to have a better show. But this week was sort of a hey.
Yeah.
Guess what we get to do.
Yeah.
All right. And so everybody have a good one. We'll talk to you next week. Rob will see you. Well, Rob, you're doing your tarot.
Monday night.
No, your tarot class tomorrow night.
Oh yes. So ladies, let's do another class tomorrow night. I would like to do it at 7:00. Text me, shoot me something and say, and tell me if 7:00 my time is too early or if we need to do 8. Okay. So I'll try to reach out to everybody tomorrow and we'll go from there. So let's do probably 1 or 2 more tarot classes, and then I'll see everybody on Monday night.
All right. Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Night.
Bye.